Have you ever walked through an old cemetery and wondered, how did the ancient people say goodbye to their dead? We like to think we've evolved with our neat graves, polished stones, and quiet ceremonies. But thousands of years ago, death was far more dramatic, and sometimes downright terrifying. From mummified kings to sky burials and bones used in rituals, these are 10 creepy ancient burial practices you won't believe are real. Stay until number 10. It's one of the most shocking and mysterious burial rituals ever discovered. Number 1. The Egyptian mummification process. Let's begin with something familiar, yet still deeply unsettling. Ancient Egyptians believed that to live forever, the body had to remain intact. So they perfected mummification, a 70-day process where priests removed internal organs, dried the body with salt, and wrapped it in linen. The creepiest part, the brain was pulled out through the nose using a metal hook. The body was then placed in a sarcophagus, surrounded by spells and offerings to guide the soul to the afterlife. To us, it sounds like something out of a horror movie, but for Egyptians, it was the highest honor. Number 2. The Viking ship burials. For Vikings, death was just another voyage. They believed brave warriors sailed to Valhalla, the great hall of the gods. So when a Viking died, their body was placed in a ship, surrounded by weapons, armor, and treasures, then set on fire before being sent out to sea. Flames against the dark water, ashes scattered to the wind. It wasn't just a funeral, it was a message to the gods. A warrior is coming. But archaeologists have found that not all Viking burials were grand. Some were buried alive beside their masters, slaves sacrificed to serve them in the afterlife. Number 3. Tibetan sky burials. In Tibet, where the ground is frozen and wood is scarce, traditional burials were impossible. So they turned to a hauntingly practical, yet spiritual, method called sky burial. The body was cut into pieces and left on mountaintops, offered to vultures. It might sound horrifying, but Tibetans see it as an act of compassion, giving one's body back to nature, completing the cycle of life. Monks even chant mantras during the ritual to guide the soul's journey. To outsiders, it's chilling. To them, it's beautiful. Number 4. The ancient catacombs of Rome. Beneath modern Rome lie hundreds of kilometers of underground tunnels. Catacombs where early Christians secretly buried their dead. The air is thick, silent, and cold. Walls are carved with thousands of names, symbols, and messages of hope. Some tunnels even hold entire families, sealed in stone. Over time, these catacombs became places of both faith and fear, hiding spots, worship centers, and graves all at once. Walking there today feels like stepping into another world, one where the living and the dead once coexisted. Number 5. The Mayan blood rituals. The Mayans believed that blood connected humans to the gods. So when someone powerful died, a king, priest, or noble, their burial included rituals of bloodletting and human sacrifice. Bodies were placed in caves, believed to be entrances to the underworld, and to ensure their spirits' safe passage, others were sacrificed alongside them. Archaeologists have found burial chambers filled with bones, jade, ornaments, and vessels used to catch blood, all offered to gods demanding life for life. Number 6. The Sati ritual of ancient India. Perhaps one of history's most tragic rituals, the Sati in ancient India. When a husband died, his wife was expected, sometimes forced, to throw herself into his funeral fire, joining him in death. It was believed this act of devotion purified both their souls and united them eternally. Though outlawed long ago, some cases continued into the 19th century. To this day, it remains one of the most haunting reminders of how cultural beliefs about death can turn into acts of extreme sacrifice. Number 7. The Scythian burial mounds. In the vast steppes of Central Asia, the Scythians, fierce nomadic warriors, buried their dead in massive mounds called. Inside, archaeologists have found kings buried with gold, horses, and people. Slaves and servants were sometimes killed and entombed alive, believed to serve their master in the afterlife. One excavation revealed a chariot, horses still in harness, and human remains arranged in a circle, a chilling snapshot of devotion beyond death. Number 8. Neolithic skull cults. Imagine living in a village where the skulls of your ancestors were kept inside your home. That's exactly what archaeologists found in ancient sites in Jericho and the Levant. People carefully removed skulls from buried bodies, plastered them, and painted eyes on them, keeping them as part of daily life. These skulls weren't trophies. They were family, a way to honor and maybe even communicate with the dead. Creepy, yes, but to them, it meant protection and guidance. Number 9. The Etruscan tomb cities. Before the Romans, there were the Etruscans, and their belief in the afterlife was so strong, they built entire cities for the dead. Their tombs were carved underground to look like real homes, complete with furniture, painted walls, and even carved food. It's as if they thought the dead would continue their lives exactly as before. When archaeologists opened some of these tombs, they found eerie frescoes of banquets, laughter, and music frozen in stone, like a party that never ended. And now, number 10, one of the most mysterious and jaw-dropping burial practices ever discovered. The Beho people of China, hanging coffins on cliffs in the misty mountains of southwest China. Archaeologists found hundreds of wooden coffins suspended high on vertical cliffs, some perched on narrow ledges, others wedged into caves hundreds of meters above ground. These belong to the Beho people, an ancient culture that vanished centuries ago. No one knows exactly how they placed the coffins there or why. Some believe they wanted the dead to be closer to heaven. Others think it was to protect them from animals and floods. But the truth, still a mystery. Standing at the foot of those cliffs, looking up at the silent boxers swaying in the wind, it's impossible not to feel chills, from mummified kings to sky burials and hanging coffins. These rituals reveal how differently yet how deeply humans have always faced death. To some, they're gruesome. To others, sacred. But one thing's clear. Even thousands of years ago, people were asking the same question we still ask today. What happens after we die? If you enjoyed exploring these ancient and chilling traditions, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more mysterious stories from history. Because sometimes the past is stranger and darker than we ever imagined.